In this video, we're going to be plotting points that satisfy linear equations. Example 1, graph the line by locating any two ordered pairs that satisfy the equation 2x minus 8y equals 0. And so when you're going through this process, you can honestly pick any point that you want, pick an x, and the process is if you pick an x, you're going to be solving for the y value. If you pick a y value, you're going to be solving for an x value. You can pick anything that you want, but the key here is that you want it to actually be on the coordinate plane, and I want to try to avoid any fractions or decimals. And so I'm always going to try to start with doing my intercepts. And so I'm going to do first x equal to 0 and solve for y. So all you're going to do is substitute in 0 where my x is, and then I'm going to solve for y. And so doing that, I get y equal to 0. And so my coordinate point would be 0, 0. Now, I'm going to do the same thing for y equal to 0. And so I'm going to substitute in 0 for my y, and then I'm going to go through and I'm solving for x, and I get x equal to 0, and I get 0, 0. Unfortunately, here you need two coordinates to plot. Well, 0, 0 is the same point, and so I'm going to need another point. And so here, that's where you kind of make a decision. Do you want to pick another x value? Do you want to pick another y value? It honestly doesn't matter. So here I chose y equal to 1, and I'm going to be solving the equation for x to get the x value. So I substitute in 1 for my y, and so then I have 2x minus 8 equal to 0, and then now I'm solving this equation for x, and doing so I get x equal to 4, which will give me my second point, 4, 1. So now I have 2 points, 0, 0, and 4, 1. So 0, 0 is the origin, so that's going to be my first point, and then 4, 1 is in quadrant 1, so I go to the right 4 and I go up 1, and that's going to be my second point, and then I just connect the two lines by the 2 points with a line. All right, example 2, let's look at y equal to negative 7 over 4x. And so I'm going to do the same process. I'm going to try to do my intercepts here. I'm going to substitute in x equal to 0, and I'm going to solve for y. And so when I do that, I get y equal to 0. So my point on that line is going to be 0, 0. Now I'm going to do the same thing for y equal to 0. So I'm going to put 0 in for y, and I'm going to solve for x. When I do that, I get 0 again. So I can't stop here because I only have one point to plot, 0, 0, so I do need to pick another point to get for the line. And so here, this time, I'm going to pick x equal to 4. Now, the reason why I did that is because I knew that I had a 4 in the fraction, in the bottom of the fraction, and so I want to get rid of that fraction, and so that's kind of why I chose x equal to 4. Once again, you can choose any points that you want, any value you want, either for x and y, and then solve for the other value. And so here, doing that, simplifying will give me y equal to negative 7. So the point that I'm going to be plotting is 4, negative 7, and then also your 0, 0. So 0, 0 is at the origin. 4, negative 7 is actually going to be in quadrant 4. So I go to the right 4 and then down 7. And then I'm ready to connect my two points with the line. Example 3, y equal to 5 over 2x minus 10. So I'm going to start with x equal to 0, substitute in that 0 for x, and I'm going to solve for y, and I get negative 10. And so my point is going to be 0, negative 10. Going to do the same thing for y now. I'm going to put 0 in for y, and I'm going to solve the equation for x. And doing so, I get x equal to 4. And so my point is going to be 4, 0. And so I actually have I have an x-intercept and a y-intercept, so I'm just going to plot those 2 points. So the 0, negative 10 is going to be on the y-axis, and then the 4, 0 is going to be on the x-axis at 4, and so then I connect the two points by a line. All right, example 4, y equal to negative 2. And so this is a special situation. What this means is that we're going to go to our y-axis and we're going to plot a point at negative 2. And so every single point that's on the line y equal -2 will have a y value of -2. So there's really an infinite amount of points you can choose here. And so it creates a horizontal line at y equal to -2. And so I've plotted 4 points here. And so I'm just picking 2 to identify. So 4, -2 would be on the line, and -7, -2 would be on the line. So anytime you see the equation y equal -2 and you don't have an x in the equation, that's going to be a horizontal line at the y value on the y-axis. All right, example 5, which is our last example, look at something similar, x equal to -2. So this time we're going to go to our x-axis and we're going to put a dot at -2 on the x-axis. And so what this means is that for all the points that are on the line x equal to -2, your x value is going to be -2. So it doesn't really matter where the points are. There's an infinite amount. And what ends up happening is there's going to be a vertical line at x equal to -2. So I plotted 4 points here. I'm going to pick 2 to identify. That's going to be on the graph. So -2, 0 is on the line, and then -2, 5 is also on the line. And so anytime you see the equation x equal to a number, that's always going to be a vertical line at that number on the x-axis.